Now, guys, when you read the odds of Giannis in Gokin the Bonds next team, and you realize what the actual figure is, you should reach one foregone conclusion that if Giannis is minus 900 to stay with the Bucks, then he's going nowhere next year. This is insider knowledge. Giannis is going nowhere if he's minus 900 to stay with Milwaukee. You don't add Miles Turner without trying to compete. You add Miles Turner, you're trying to compete for a championship. If Goalkeeper Bond is minus 700 to stay with the Lakers, he's staying with the Lakers. Why the hell would any team out there, including the New York Knicks, sacrifice much needed assets on a player who's only going to play for 1 to 2 more seasons, right? That doesn't make any sense. Who would be dumb enough to acquire Goat King the Bond in a trade? We know how difficult it is for a team to win a championship in the first year with a new core. It really doesn't happen, with the exception of the 2007 2008 Celtics. That was the only exception to the rule. He didn't win the championship his first year with Miami. He didn't win it his first year back in Cleveland, right? The Warriors had the core. Uh, they didn't win it the first year together. Granted, I think Steve Kerr's first year was 2014, 2015, but the first year with the players together, they didn't win the championship. And you see, it's kind of what I explained not too long ago. If Lucas number 77, if Corona Del Mar, Crown of the Sea is 77, then the Lakers can win the championship 77 months after the death of Kobe. Because what is Kobe? Is he's a Lakers fan. And if he's a Lakers fan, and if Lucas number 77 in the 2026 NBA Finals is 77 months after the death of Bryant, and Bryant's 26 in Gematria, then 2026 is a very big year for the Lakers. Who wouldn't want to run it back with Goat King LeBron and Luca? A full season with Goat King LeBron and Luca, so you don't even know Real J Stone. Yes, next year is the 80th NBA Finals. Last year was the 79th NBA Finals. This Thunder's last championship occurred in 1979 while they were the Supersonics, and Sonics is 79. And so 80th NBA Finals, GOAT, King LeBron ties, Kobe being Bryant. That is exactly right. The source of the rumors and the BS to pass time by, because let's face it, it's a down time period. There's nothing to report on. There's no major new signings. So these writers need something to write about, right? So why not come up with BS that the Lakers are going to trade Goat King LeBron? Because you have a job to write and publish an article. There's nothing left to talk about. And these dumbass motherfuckers don't write an article on Al Horford's fit with the Warriors or his fit with the Lakers, because they're a bunch of mental retarded midgets. They would rather feed the BS rumor spiel of Goat King LeBron leaving the Lakers, because that's what generates more clicks than any other topic. is Goat King the Bond leaving the Lakers. And Samurai is absolutely right. And we're not falling for the fake news whatsoever. We're not falling for the fake news. He's staying with the Lakers. He's winning with Luca. He's winning as a member of the Lakers in front of spectators. His second ring in his eighth season, Gianna 2, Kobe 8. I told you the symbolism. If Goat King the Bond is minus 700 to stay with the Lakers, then the odd makers pretty much know that it is all speculative bullshit because there's nothing else to write about because there are no major signings to cover. We're still waiting on Chris Paul and we're waiting on the Bradley Beal buyout situation, but there's nothing to write about right now for the NBA. So basically, Goat King the Bond is guaranteed to stay because he knows that he is about to win the fifth and the sixth rings. 42 is a very big number. I've covered that. So it's not just about next year, but also the following season. A lot of people think Goat King the Bond is going to win the fifth ring and he's going to retire, but if he returns for another season, he knows the coming script. So when he comes back for that 24th season, when he's out for 30 plus games during the regular season, and people are questioning his durability, his ability to last an entire playoff run at 42 years of age. We all know this is a resting period for Goat King LeBron James. This so-called major injury in his 24th season is really going to be a resting period where Goat King LeBron is involved in his family matters with his daughter Zilla, or whatever her name is, with Bryce and with Bonnie. I believe Spring Hill Productions, Goat King LeBron, the family man, the rehabbing man, getting closer to the family man because he's not able to play on the court. And so that aspect of Spring Hill Productions, Goat King LeBron is going to stage the reality TV show. So people think he's going to be hurt, but I know this is all about Spring Hill Productions. That's the name of Goat King LeBron's production company. Rehabbing and spending time away from the team, Goat King LeBron is able to be closer to his family as a matter of fact. And so we're dealing with a lot of fake news that he's going to leave for the Cavs, that he's hurt and he's not able to last for another championship run, when we clearly know that he has to be closer to Zila, whatever her name is. I'm sorry. Closer to Bryce, closer to Bronny, closer to Savannah. The rehabbing Goat King LeBron away from the team becomes more of a family man, and Goat King LeBron must be seen as a family man. So I believe there's a little bit of a Hollywood twist in the regular season script as far as Goat King LeBron's injuries situation goes. I have no doubt he did play with a broken foot in 2023. At the same time, it could be real, but Goat King LeBron is staging the production to be seen as a family man, and the cameras are pictured on, I'm sorry, I forgot her name, Silla and Goat King LeBron and Bryce and Bronny, the ultimate family dad, GOAT, King LeBron James, the ultimate husband to Savannah. Spring Hill Productions going to run a huge production on GOAT, King LeBron, running another side of GOAT, King LeBron, not seen on the basketball court. The family man, the father, the husband, I believe that is going to come to fruition at the event of a major injury. And I call BS on the fake news media because I haven't heard from GOAT King LeBron's own mouth that he wants to leave the Lakers. So it's all speculative BS from the media. And these people haven't hacked their way into GOAT King LeBron's brain and can read what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do. These people are speculative BSers. Because again, the main idea is that there's nothing else to write about because all the major signings have happened. And there's no Hal Horford signing. There's no Chris Paul signing. There's no Bradley Beal signing. So in other words, there's nothing else left to report about. So how do you pass time by? Is you come up with speculative BS again. Like I said at the beginning, minus 700 to stay with the Lakers, minus 900 to stay with the Bucks. By conclusion, these guys are going to be members of the Bucks and the Lakers next year. In the lying fake news media is a giant hoax. Advertisers pay for their articles. The lying fake news media is not going to bring down and undermine the LeBron, Luka, LA Lake show. The fake news media is lying because they have nothing else to write about. The lying fake news media knows he's staying with the Lakers. But you see, if you come up with speculative rumor BS that he's going to leave the Lakers, people are going to click on that article. Ramona Shelbourne and Brian Windhorst, if they come up with BS rumors, you're going to click on an article. These guys have to get paid. So it's all BS. You have GOAT King LeBron and you have Luka. You're not trying to win the championship. I mean, come on, man. You have GOAT King LeBron and Luka. You don't want to run it again to win the championship. It's like you have GOAT King LeBron and Luka, and you actually have a real rebounder. You have a real rebounder like DeAndre Ayton. You see, Rudy Gobert's not raping the boards. You have a real center, DeAndre Ayton. He was up against Giannis. The Suns outscored the Bucks while Ayton was on the floor. So, again, to the fake news media out there saying that Ayton is soft and all this, the loser Phoenix Suns had a very terrible culture. They did not have a winning culture. It's not Ayton's fault. It's the losing culture of the loser Phoenix Suns. They are the source of all of the problems. The loser Phoenix Suns. They are at the source of all the major problems going on in the game. And we know better than to give the loser Phoenix Suns the benefit of the doubt. 1-1. GOAT King LeBron's 11th finals appearance. The Lakers are always going to win the Summer League game. New Orleans is 45. GOAT King LeBron's 45th playoff series win of his career. It was never a doubt the Lakers are going to win the Summer League game, and it hasn't gone down to 3 points or 2 points. So it looks like the Lakers are going to win this game comfortably in the Summer League, and that's the main takeaway. New Orleans is 45, Gold Bonds 45th playoff series win, the first win of the Summer League against New Orleans. That's my main uh, takeaway from the game tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. The Cole Swinder guy, let's give him a roster spot. If he's balling in these Summer League games, in he's fighting like a dog, give Cole Swindler a roster spot. Just see what he can do during the first 20 games of the season. How in a Christian Coloco cut Christian Coloco, give Cole Swindler the roster spot. See what he can do in an NBA regular season game. He's balling the Summer League multiple years. May as well give this cat a chance on the LA Lakers roster. Get rid of Coloco. Give him a roster spot. Time to stop messing around. Swindler's a leading scorer again. So this guy's a dog. They have to get him a roster spot. Let him grow and develop in the NBA. Levi Anderson, you're a fake hoax, and you are a fake news a crisis agent. Seriously. You want to act like Rob Pelinka is not trying to sabotage GOAT King LeBron James from tying Kobe Bean Bryant. I am paying attention to that conspiracy theory because this is the year that this theory is being tested. And fuck the Lakers and fuck that franchise if indeed it's been proven that Rob Pelinka is trying to sabotage GOAT King LeBron James. Now, I believe the GOAT and the King can overcome it. I think Pelinka's done a terrible job this offseason. I think the bare minimum was acquiring a center and acquiring a replacement for Dorian Finney-Smith. We've not seen more action out of this piece of shit, useless motherfucker. The bare minimum was finding a replacement for DFS. The bare minimum was finding a fucking center. What the hell has this motherfucker done to address the situation? I like LaRafia. I like Ayton and his athleticism. But we need to see more of his dog shit motherfucker. Malik Monk, bring him back to the Lakers. Bring him back to the Lakers. They jumped in Murray trade to the Lakers. There are multiple options out there to cut Coloco loose, to address the roster, to improve the roster, to make it better. All I can say is fuck the Lakers if they blow the rest of GOAT King LeBron's career. I have no doubt they sabotaged his 19th to 22nd years. This organization is trash. They couldn't make the playoffs for 6 years before GOAT King LeBron joined the team. And on top of it, you need 8 teams to qualify for the playoffs. So what does that say about the Lakers? I don't give a fuck about this Kansas alumni BS. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. And this better be the fucking year where we get a center, we get another center, and we're not left with bullshit. Because last year was not GOAT King LeBron's fault. It was the general manager's fault because he left the team without a center. He failed a physical. He's not on the team. This must be sabotage. I guarantee it must be sabotage. It must be sabotage. I believe something special will happen. I believe something special will happen. There's only 2 ways around the theory. Is that Kobe is an Illuminati demon and this fake idol worship is all bullshit. All the stupid ass motherfuckers that claim Goat Kinderbarn sacrificed Kobe. It's Kobe sacrificing his soul to the devil, so Goat Kinderbarn would stay at four rings, and Rob Pelinka would take care of the business. All you little Kobe idolizing motherfuckers, you all can go to hell, motherfuckers, because Stanley fucking Johnson, motherfucker. Come on now. That was your best signing in 2021, 2022? This is sabotage. This is sabotage. You leave Goat to the bottom without a center during the 2025 NBA playoffs. What a disgrace. But again, I tell you, I'm of the opinion that he's not allowed to win until his 23rd, 24th season. So he could be at six rings in his 23rd, 24th season. And so and that's the source of the sabotage conspiracy theory is that he's just trying to keep it from six rings. But the reality is that the NBA don't want to see Goat King Bond win his final rings until around the 23rd season. So that's why I still know he's going to win the back-to-back with the Lakers because Kobe's a Lakers fan. Jeannie Buss loves her some Goat King Bond. And she's still governor of the Lakers. She still is the governor of the team. She somewhat still has some power during the next couple of seasons. So Jeannie Buss is not without power. So under the specifics of the ownership deal, she's allowed to be governor for the next couple of years. Because I'm sure she knows what's about to go down with Luka and Goat in the bar. So that's something to keep in mind about as well. But fake news media, he's going to the Cavs, he's going to the Knicks. Fake news media. If it is a fake news media, then good, because we'll know that the media is lying about Goat King LeBron James leaving the team. So the lying fake news media, I think they are a joke. I think they're a big giant hoax. I think Goat King LeBron, it does him a disservice that the media is coming up with lies that he wants to leave the team, but we haven't heard from Goat King LeBron's mouth that he wants to leave the Lakers. We haven't heard Goat King LeBron say he wants to leave Luka, he wants to leave the Lakers. Why would you leave the team when Redick has laid the foundation? We actually had a 50-win season, the third seed in the West with home court in your first year as the coach. JJ Redick, he didn't have a center to work with, but you still had home court. You still won 50 games in the Wild Wild West. JJ Redick did a great job. Considering that he didn't have a center for 2-3 months of the season. JJ Redick did a great job. He did a great job. He is his hand-picked coach, Goat King LeBron James. Why would Goat King LeBron leave his hand-picked coach that he had on his Mind the Game podcast? Goat LeBron is a narcissist. He's going to own the fake news media. Goat LeBron will say, I never said any of these things. The media's been lying to me for my whole career. We have an athletic center. We have a killer who made it to the finals with the loser Phoenix Suns and Booker the Bomb. Completely washed up. Now watch the Lakers. You see, the Lakers, LA has been economically devastated because the right wing fascist government has been targeting the blue cities. Why don't we hear about these immigration raids in Austin, Texas, or in Atlanta, Georgia, for example? We always hear it's happening in New York and Chicago and Los Angeles. Well, I didn't hear anything about San Francisco. So they're targeting the blue areas with their little experiments of ushering in martial law. They're already experimenting with Los Angeles. You have war zones in Los Angeles. The wildfires, the right wing hostile takeover, much of America's produce comes from California, the migrant workers. You want to target those people, you're begging for a crash. Now we're hearing ramblings from the fascist grifters' White House that let's hold back on the raids on the migrant farms or whatever. We know this is economically bad, uh, because if they do allow it to happen, then it's going to impact the MAGA base, right? These Donald Trump supporters will not work the fields. We're hearing about the work requirements. We're hearing that the seniors who are going to get kicked off of their Medicare and Medicaid, that Donald Trump is going to force them to work the fields. I question that. I question that. But never underestimate the power of a fascist. You detain American citizens, which is what they did to a professor at in California. They detained an American citizen professor over there. The Klan has infiltrated the government. How many migrants would be working the fields in California? How many of them would be working the fields? AI, the AI hasn't progressed enough for robots to work the fields, so we still need manual labor to pick the crops of this country because the machine would actually destroy the crop. So the machinery and all that, it hasn't really adjusted and adapted to that. So we still need these people willing to suffer out in the sun for 12 hours at whatever rate of compensation for each uh, crop they pick. Um, they are, and now I don't know how Stephen Miller thinks about this because ironically, Stephen Miller's a Jew. He's a Jew who hates all the brown people. Stephen Miller's a Jew, but he has a problem with all these brown people coming in and working in jobs that most Americans are not willing to work. So Stephen Miller comes across as a Nazi, but Stephen Miller, by descent, by ethnicity, is a Jew. He's a Jew. He's a Jew. Didn't he read on on the history of his own people during the Nazi Holocaust? Placed in the chambers. torture, the gas chambers, all that, the cremation. Stephen Miller, shame on you, buddy, shame on you. Shame on Stephen Miller. All right, my D backs, they're pitching this garbage. Zach Gallen pitched pretty well the last couple of outings, but it's more the same old BS today. So where are we at here with? I knew the Lakers would win. D backs suck. This fucking team sucks. A Reeves? Who's that? That can't be Austin Reeves. A Reeves. It must be another Reeves. Trey Jamerson, no field goal attempts. He's not deserving of a roster spot. 410, that's not bad. Bronny, his 3-point shooting needs to be better. Again, Cole Swidler, he deserves a fucking roster spot. Koloko did terrible the last game, but he shot 5 of 7. But honestly, what ceiling does Christian Koloko have? I liked him as a Arizona Wildcats basketball fan uh, because my family graduated from the University of Arizona. So I was a Arizona Wildcats fan throughout my childhood. But we got to do better. We got to do better. Have to do better. Have to do better. You know, if I have a multi-leg uh, futures parlay, I do every AFC team. So the Bengals and the Bills and the Ravens, and I do both top AL contenders, the Tigers and uh, the Astros, because I don't think the Yankees are going to be the shit this year without Garrett Cole and Clark Schmidt on the injured list. So, you know, three different um, three different, you know, AFC teams to win the AFC, and you combine it with the Lakers in the Inter Miami. My two locks are Inter Miami to win the MLS Cup and the Lakers to win the championship. Then, regardless of who wins the AFC, regardless of who wins the American League, then you win either way. And I did it all with the Eagles in the NFC, and I did all with the Lions in the NFC. 49ers can't make it because, it's a home Super Bowl. It's not a pandemic year, so 49ers are not going to make it. Sorry, guys, you're not going to make it. Eagles and Lions, I'd be very surprised if it's not the Eagles or the Lions to win the NFC. So the multi future leg parlay, see, be contingent on, you know, can one of those three teams win the AFC? And I'll probably add the Packers onto the NFC, because, uh, but I'm of the believer that the Lions are not going to have 18 players on the injured list. Now, gamblers are degenerates, and they start hating on the team that loses their bet. So people are going to be hating on the Lions next year due to purely emotional reasons. And now, I did play some Lions bets last year, but you know, injuries happen. It's football. They had a third string. It's not their fault. You have to think objectively, and they're not going to have 18 players on the injured list on defense, will they? So Lions will be okay. They're going to win the conference next year. I think they will. If the Eagles win, perfect, they win. But it's Eagles or Lions next year. Cardinals suck. Kyler Murray's not going to do it. I'm a Cardinals fan, and Kyler sucks at quarterback. So don't get me started with this fucking team. Seriously, we will make the playoffs, but we're not going to do shit in the playoffs. So shut the fuck up, please, about this team. James Conner's a great running back. We've got plenty of talent. Dre McBride, I know, but Kyler Murray sucks at quarterback. I know we've got fun players to watch, like James Conner and Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison, but Kyler Murray is never going to be that guy. We have to get rid and find a way to draft Arch Manning. You got to keep your star players. You have to get them locked up to an extension. Fake injury for Kyler, so he's out for the year. He hasn't shown any improvement in 6 years. I haven't seen the improvement in Kyler's game. He's been drafted in 2019. It's motherfucking 2025. You gotta show some fucking improvement. It hasn't happened. There are too many quarterbacks I can name that I would rather have than Kyler Murray. This guy in Kansas City, no doubt about it. Josh Allen, I'd take him. Joe Burrow, I'd take him. Lamar Jackson, I'd take him. He's not too small. He can see over his lot. I would take him. Jordan Love or Kyler, you guys have that pick. Would I really take Jordan Love over Kyler Murray? I must take Kyler Murray if I take Jordan Love over him. You just can't see over his line. Kyler Murray has elite talent. Elite talent at the running back and tight end in wide receiver position, the son of Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Sr., excuse me. There's no spinning. There's no spinning. There's no spinning that whatsoever. So for football, you win no matter who wins and who loses. Your first choice can be the Bengals, but you'd hedge and you do the same bets with the Ravens and the Bills. If the Ravens and the Bills win, then you win, even if your first choice to win the conference doesn't win. That's what I mean about hedging with the multi-leg parlay bet. So, Goaty LeBron is not leaving. I think the NBA is reality TV. Who would not want to win a title with the Lakers in front of spectators? Imagine how much this would impact Gold Bond's legacy if he doesn't win a championship with the Lakers in front of fans. That's why this motherfucker's here to stay with the Lakers. Why would he voluntarily decide not to win a championship in front of fans with Luca as his sidekick? I'm telling you, this would be bad for his image. Goat Bond's image would need to win a championship with Luka Doncic. I believe Goat Bond is the GOAT and king of basketball. I have never felt any more high that Goat Bond would deliver. And the best part of all of this is that Goat Bond is still here. This isn't some first playoff run without a center. We've got DeAndre Ayton now, bitch. We've got DeAndre Ayton now, motherfucker. What y'all people have to say about that now, huh? He's motivated for a new contract. He's got a player option after the first year. What you have to say about that? DeAndre Ayton's a big part of this equation. Can go LeBron and DeAndre Ayton? Winning formula. Any fan of the loser Phoenix Suns? God, you're a big giant fucking joke. This team is not competitive. Your only hope is seeing the Lakers lose. That's how much I know you're a sorry ass fan. And look at all you dumb motherfuckers in 2021. You're gonna have to watch and eat fucking shit when DeAndre Ayton wins 2 rings with the Lakers. You're gonna have to watch that. You know, Kobe said he got eliminated by the Suns on 2 separate occasions. That's what the 2 rings represents right there for DeAndre Ayton. The 2 eliminations by the loser Phoenix Suns on 2 separate occasions. Screw you, motherfucker. Screw you. Kobe was right about you. You're just a loser Phoenix Sun. It's what you are at the end of the day. Are you fucking ass clown, you said Astros fans? Yeah, this is why you guys are in on the hedge. I'm not your bitch if you win the American League. It means that you are my bitch, that you work for me, that you execute the parlay. Motherfucker. That's what you are at the end of the day. Listen. Now, we're going to make things work. I feel great in my shirt right here. This is a linen shirt. It feels great. The soft material of the shirt feels great. My waiter complimented the shirt that I wore, and this is a clearance shirt. So some guys out there got poor taste in their fashion, you know. I can teach him a thing or two about that. I can show you a little thing or two about the fashion, but we never made it to the closeout game phase. The closeout game phase, motherfucker, I'm wearing the purple velvet blazer. I'm wearing the yellow button up shirt, the black mamba venom blood purple tie. Bro, this was the shit that I wore in 2020 motherfucking one. This is what I'm talking about. Rob Pelinka has to be fired. There must be a point in time when Rob Pelinka's gonna really try and maximize and make the roster as good as it can. You have to get rid of Christian Coloco. You have to get rid of Coloco. You have to get rid of Alex Len. You have to get rid of these guys. I'm telling you, if they don't win this fucking fifth ring, Rob Pelinka, a lifelong agent of Kobe, sabotaged Goat Kinnabarn's career. But my question is why would Goat Kinnabarn voluntarily subject himself to this? Why would he voluntarily subject himself to allowing Kobe's lifelong agent to sabotage the rest of his career? That's what I like. No. But I'm of the view that he was not allowed to win until his 23rd season. There are many conspiracy theories put out as to why the Lakers haven't won the championship. And now it's true that Adam Silver wants to maximize fan interest and he wants, multiple champions and he doesn't want to give the appearance of the fact that the NBA is continuing dynasty, so that had nothing to do with Rob Pelinka, right? Many Goat Kinnabarn fans like to say that Rob Pelinka is deliberately trying to keep Goat Kinnabarn at 4 rings so he can keep Kobe at 5. I believe Goat Kinnabarn will overcome all that garbage. I believe Kobe is a demonic, evil motherfucker if his whole end game was to keep Goat Kinnabarn at 4 rings, and Kobe sacrificed himself to the Illuminati devil worshippers. This proves Goat Kinnabarn is Jesus Christ. If Kobe tried to keep this guy at 4 rings and Kobe sold his soul, this proves Goat Kinnabarn is Jesus. He might as well be Jesus. All these little sick ass clown dipshit motherfuckers try to claim that Goat Kinnabarn sacrificed Kobe so he could tell Michael Jordan. We are starting to see some very clear evidence that the opposite may be true. That Kobe's a demonic fuck whose ego consumed him and he sacrificed himself to the Lord's so Goat Kinnabarn would never ever tie him. That still is a very plausible theory. But I believe Goat Kinnabarn is the one and only GOAT and king of the game, and he will overcome. But also that GOAT Kinnabarn was always meant to surpass Kobe, and Kobe wasn't going to live with that at all. So it's the latter that I support. The latter is what I rather see come to fruition. The latter is what's going to be true. Is that Kobe was never ever going to live with someone ever surpassing him. So the conspiracies lie from both angles, and there is an element of truth of Rob Palenka sabotaging Goat Kinnabon by having McGee leave. But the main question we should ask is if Goat Kinnabon is going to voluntarily let this happen, then why is he still on the Lakers? Because there must come a point in time where Goat Kinnabon is allowed to win. You have the greatest player in the game who scored more points than any player in the game, who's led the greatest upset in the history of the championship series, the NBA Finals, who wins back-to-back rings on the Lakers in his 40s. The LA Lakers are forever greater than the Boston Celtics. So Kobe hates the Celtics, he a Laker. Goat Kinnabon does all this beyond 40 years of age in a Laker uniform. The Lakers are supreme over the rest of the league. So we are able to establish some good style points over the rest of these crisis actors who are trying to undermine the Lakers. I don't know who your fake hoax ticket TV is, but you are fake hoax. You and the fake media and the fake news out there trying to undermine the mission of the LA Lakers. You and your fake news crisis actors should be ashamed of yourself. You don't have any real merit or any real reporting to back your rumors. You all should be ashamed of yourself for spreading that very fake news on Jingo Lebron leaving the Lakers. You and the fake news out there. Luca hasn't even spent a full season with the Lakers. You are just fake news, is what you are. Now, God-fearing Donald Duck always screams fake news, but he ain't mean on nothing at all. He's a loser. Why are these goddamn retarded Americans a bunch of degenerate losers? Donald Trump never had a bipartisan infrastructure bill passed during his all Republican House and Senate during 2017 to 2019. So he's a fucking loser. Joe Biden had many Republicans vote for his bipartisan infrastructure bill because Joe Biden said that the red states need the infrastructure more than the blue states. Joe Biden is a real patriot. Your lamestream fake news media wants to claim that Biden never did such a thing. But your fake news lamestream media is all about passing corporate tax breaks, which is why your loser lamestream fake news media is sitting here saying that we didn't pass the tax breaks, we didn't pass the tax bill which would benefit working people, so they are part of the fake news agenda. And Donald Trump has been a corrupted bastard throughout his entire career. Always remember that. He's been a corrupted bastard throughout his career. I never lived through the 80s or the 90s. I was born in 1995. The George Bush years, those were years of terror. Bush lied to America. We got in recession. Republican Party was bad. And in 2008, most white people agreed that the Republican Party was a big abomination. They voted for Obama. Now, my family was a bunch of right wingers, so you know it came with the prejudice against Barack Obama. And almost talking about the Obamacare and all this, but I mean, where was American health care before Obamacare? I swear to God. Obamacare reduced health care inflation. It did. Where would we be without Obamacare? We would be further behind the rest of the industrialized world out there. I repeat, Obamacare, socialized medicine, that's all bad. This kind of right wing kind of thing out there, it's ridiculous. Basically, what the anti-Obamacare was about was a bunch of racist Americans couldn't stand the fact that a black man helped improve America's healthcare system. Now, it's still not very good compared to the industrialized world, but at least there's marketplace plans out there paid for by the government. And, and self employed people, they didn't have that option before because they had no health care, without the government for Obamacare. So that part must resonate very well. All these right wing conservatives saying we're going to repeal Obamacare in 7 years happens, and the Republicans had no plan to repeal Obamacare. They were full of shit from the very beginning. They had no plan to repeal Obamacare. And John McCain in the Senate was the deciding vote to strike down the repeal of Obamacare. Karma's a fucking bitch, fascist grifter. That's one man who suffered a lot during his later years. And he was thinking about the rest of America. Would I be willing to strike down health care for millions of Americans after going through what I've been going through during my own cancer diagnosis and Donald Trump, Mark John McCain, and all the war veterans? John McCain struck him down. Loser Trump failed. Still no healthcare plan 10 years later. Still no big, better healthcare plan for the Republican Party 10 years into the future. But these rubes will still vote Republican in 2028. They're going after agriculture areas where the white people are not willing to work these jobs at these wages, and they are sabotaging the rest of America. And I'm glad to be a liberal because there are ways of solving the very hard problems of our nation without trying to start a recession. We don't start a trade war. We don't alienate our northern allies, Canada, with we're trying to become a 51st state. We do that. And in America's own FEMA, Mexico was quicker to help our friends in Texas than our own federal government. Christy Nolan said that FEMA is left up to the states, and in over 72 hours later, she decides to activate emergency help. But it should have been done right at the moment that disaster have its way through the state of Texas. Chrissy Noam, she may look like she's 30, but with her Botox and her extensions, she looks nothing like she's 50. She's born in 1972. This bitch is as plastic as can be. And she is absolutely a racist, too. Because how many maggot, lunatic Donald Trump supporters are going to work the agricultural fields in California? No maggot Donald Trump supporter is going to work 12 hours in the very hard sunlight to bring these goods to the rest of America. The loser Donald Trump supporters will even do that. Yeah, we're right. We're on the right side of history. Anyone who supports Donald Trump, it's going to be hard to get a date. Really is e pluribus unum. Out of many people, one. I think Tom Hartman has the right idea. You know, it's what America's about. The American dream for anybody from anywhere, from any part of the world. And how much does it make our lives easier when, we don't want to work the fields at these high temperatures and all of this, but, you know, you guys jumping the border from Mexico, you're doing exactly that. And why should we deport you guys if no one is willing to work your jobs? It's economics. It's like, you know, you know why? I mean, unless they're deliberately trying to cause a crisis. Hey, and not every American out there thinks that, oh, you're from a shit, oh, they're coming to America. It's like, I mean, this is a shithole where it seems like the federal government is able to detain you a little bit more. I think we were just fine during the Obama years, and the right wing lunatics were all fed up because Obama was a black president. And Obama just wanted to make America better for everybody, and really rubbed the wrong way with the racists. You know, I was during middle in high school during the years of Obama, but how many of my friends from high school in middle school are they going to vote for Donald Trump in the right wing fascist grifting government? How many of them think that the migrants are the problems for everything? We as a people are just not willing to work these jobs. This is where education comes into play, amigo. Is not everyone is willing to work them jobs, but to those who do work these jobs, we can't thank you enough for your sacrifice. And I'd be foolish to take you guys for granted because the loser Donald Trump supporters playing video games and they're collecting Medicare and Medicaid. They're not going to work these fucking jobs. They're not going to work these fucking jobs. Uh, they're not going to be out in the field working these jobs. Okay, comment right there. Samurai says Coke King the Bot's not going to the Knicks. Well, I think the offseason is bullshit. Coke King the Bot is staying with the Lakers. He's going to win the fucking rings with the Lakers. It's the motherfucking Los Angeles Lakers. Who wouldn't want to win a ring in front of fans with the Los Angeles Lakers? I think it's just common sense when you deal with you win a ring in front of fans, donning the purple and gold. How many people would be willing to die to don the purple and gold? It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Think I give a fuck if the NBA's fixed? They rid the last 5 seasons against the Lakers. I don't know if Kiana will come out. No, she does get stimulated when she sees me, after being gone for a day, but I think dogs are more intelligent. I think cats are cute. I don't see the intelligence side of cats. My cat Kiana would throw up on my own fucking shoes. Would that ever happen with a fucking dog? They are smart enough to not know that they're going to throw up on your owner's shoes. No, dogs are just smarter. They're mankind's best friend. I don't see how cats are smarter. I don't. Why do the Diamondbacks have a great lineup and their pitching is garbage? Zach Allen, I thought he was gonna come along well, and he's pitching like crap. It's like just when I think the Yankees are having a crap year, it's Yankees are staying competitive, but Has nothing to do with Aaron Boone. He sucks. Has nothing to do with Aaron Boone. It has nothing to do with being held responsible because of uh, because of a certain manager. I mean, it it's not happening that way. It's like the drought's not going to end at 16 years for the Yankees. It's going to end at 17 years, like Otani's number 17, like Aaron Boone wears number 17 with the Yankees. Otani's number 17. It's like, this is not our fucking year. Yankees suck. And Cole Schmidt's on the Tommy John list with the injury. So Brian Cashman's been a bum during the trade deadline, and and we're not going to do anything. Then now look, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to do anything. Now, guys, I have to close out this stream. There's a couple of songs to listen to during this particular uh, situation, but I would disagree with the current um, detain without due process. I would always get the Mexican or the Italian. Like during the 4th of July, it's the first time someone correctly said I was Irish. I wonder how that works, really. I wonder how that works. I have no doubt with it. I know the Irish have a, a tendency to be portrayed as drunks. But I am a believer of the freedom in the democracy of the United States of America. And I'm a believer of stopping the Zionist occupation of the West Bank. You can still love America. You can still support this country not being under the occupation of the Zionist overlords. And they start calling you a Muslim. You hate America, you're a Muslim, all this garbage post 9/11 that we hear about in right wing radio, but you know, we just want to have casual dialogue with another person, and basically, you know, we ain't be hating people because of their different origin or whatever. I think I think the Irish people are very tolerant of people gone through oppression because as Irish people we've gone through slavery too. I much identify with the looks of my Italian father and the fact that we love football, we love soccer, and there's Juventus or whatever club you like, Milan or Inter or Juventus, and Italian national team, but I mean, let's stop the bullying of people. Um, you know, the bullying of people, um, and it doesn't exist. And you know what I mean? Uh, Jay says Man City will beat Real Madrid in the Champions League final. Everybody will bet PSG to win next year, but I'm pretty sure PSG is going to lose. Before, it's been a Mickey Mouse club before this year, so the Mickey Mouse side of PSG is going to come back this year. Guys, don't worry. The the liquor, it is a huge gift, but those that are worried, we have the right platform to um, provide to you during a particular time where you feel that Big Brother is grabbing too much of your heritage. And I'm of the belief that, you know, we're good. And, um, and I think it's a key to this. No one's gonna take our rights, and you know, citizenship in the Roman Empire has been extended to lots of people in Africa, in the Far East, and in many regions in Europe. So this is a question that has, it has been, um, no, yeah, you guys and your, you know, start demonizing the people exposing the Zionism, but listen, you know, we just want equal treatment for everybody. Oh, it's the top of the eighth inning. The hell is this? Angels are not up to bat. Screw this crap.